Hey guys, welcome to Get Busy Watching. I'm your host, Honest Dan. Let's talk movies. Doing a rapid fire this week, so let's hit it. A year and a half ago, Lincoln "Link" Jefferson, played by Nate Parker, lost his 14-year-old son's life at the hands of a white police officer by the name of Mike Randall, played by Bo Knapp. In the present day, Officer Randall is acquitted of his actions and free to go back to work. Meanwhile, a college student named Jordan, played by Shane Paul McGee, has asked Link to be the subject of his student film, but soon gets more than he bargained for when Link and his associates storm the local police precinct to hold a new court hearing for Officer Randall for the killing of his son. Whew boy, this one's complicated. Its heart is in the right place, but as a film, it's not great. By no means is the acting a problem. For the most part, everyone's fired up and ready to deliver a good performance and bring forth a subject that definitely needs to be talked about. And everyone clearly thinks they're the vanguard of that discussion. And the cynic in me does love the concept of storming a police station and forcing the police to ask if they truly think that justice was served.
There are no officers. There's not one officer on the jury. No, these aren't my peers. Welcome to my world.
The primary issue is the writing. Perhaps it's just me, but it feels all over the place. At its core, it's trying to talk about the actions of a single police officer who killed an unarmed black teenage boy, whom the officer thought was a threat, shining a light on the flawed justice system, but then it goes on tangents about racism as a whole, statistics, what is or is not shown in the media, probabilities of this and that, even arguments about rap in the music industry. While not a bad thing in of itself, I feel like it doesn't further the plot or even the overall point of the story, and just wants to preach, saying the same things we already know about systemic racism without saying anything truly provocative. A good movie is clearly buried here somewhere, but the mound of pretentiousness is all that audiences will really see. Not recommended. My honest rating for American Skin, a weak 3 out of 5.
If y'all just took a second to think, then maybe you'd avoid all that shit.
If all of you took a second to think, then maybe you wouldn't kill so many of us.
I didn't mean to kill your son.
But you did.
I did what I was trying to do.
Based on the novel of the same name. Set in 1870, Captain Jefferson Kidd, played by Tom Hanks, is a former Civil War soldier who now travels the country from town to town, reading to folks from his assorted newspapers that span from local news to foreign ones. One fateful day during his travels, he finds a destroyed caravan and finds Joanna, played by Helena Zengel, a young white girl who only speaks in a Native American language. Despite the language barrier, Jefferson takes Joanna in search of any of her surviving family. It's good. I like it. Got a nice mix of Tom Hanks' wholesomeness with some classic Western stuff as well. While I don't think this is anything particularly special, in fact you could probably guess how this movie ends in a 50-50 shot of being right, but I'd be lying if I said that it didn't still work. The chemistry between Hanks and young Zengel is intriguing, and seeing the two characters bond and learn how to understand each other does have its fair share of charm. There's a classic chase scene and a shootout between Jefferson and some bad guys, and while competent in its execution, it does feel like it's in here because Western!
Oh, God damn it! Looks like we're back on opposite sides!
Looks like it.
What counterbalances that is the next time there's an action scene, using inspirational words that spark a small revolution for the greater good of a small town. Major props on that. Hanks, as always, gives a rock-solid performance, and Zengel has her endearing moments as well. So the acting pulls it through. Thing is, I don't think it's as emotionally impactful as it thinks it is. What with all the expository backstories, but it does enough to keep you engaged. If you're in the market for a serviceable Tom Hanks Western drama, then I doubt you'll be disappointed. So long as you're not expecting the next High Noon, I recommend checking this out. My honest rating for News of the World, a 4 out of 5.
She says she got no home. No Kyle or family, neither. This child is an orphan twice over.
Based on a true story, married couple Nicole and Matt Teague, respectively played by Dakota Johnson and Casey Affleck, once lived a happy life with their 2 daughters, Molly and Evie, respectively played by Isabella Kai and Violet McGraw. However, that happiness is shattered when Nicole is diagnosed with cancer. Despite the hardship lying ahead, they receive help in the form of their old friend Dane, played by Jason Segel, who uproots his own life for them. Yep, this was a damn good movie. It has its flaws here and there, but for the most part, bring tissue. These are 100% career bests for both Dakota Johnson and Jason Segel. And I'm pretty sure I said that about Johnson when I saw Peanut Butter Falcon. But you know what? I mean it. She plays her role so earnestly and with such passion that it's hard to remember that she delivered such a wooden and uninterested performance in the 50 Shades movies. But if there's anyone that steals the show, the honor goes to Segel. I couldn't name another actor who does quirky but sincere as effectively and moving as him. When he has grounded roles like this, he's at his peak. I may like Sarah Marshall as much as the next guy, but if I want to see him flex his acting chops, I eagerly await flicks like this.
Well, hey man, if you ever hear of other guys who are like really asking her out over and over...
I'll take them out back. I'll string them up by their nutsacks.
Thanks, team.
While the acting is phenomenal, there is only one issue I have. Artificially inserted drama, specifically within one of their later flashback scenes. Though small and brief, it comes late in the story and doesn't further our understanding of the characters. I won't give anything away here, but it was a clumsy addition. Overall, it's a powerhouse of acting and I recommend checking it out. My honest rating for Our Friend, a strong 4 out of 5.
And what qualifies you for that?
I'm your best friend, asshole. I'm allowed to point out your shitty qualities.
Cassie, played by Carey Mulligan, once was a medical student who is now working at a coffee shop and hates it. She makes up for it by going out at clubs and pretending to be incredibly drunk, in hopes of being picked up by a guy pretending to be nice only to confront their intention of taking advantage of her. However, as she takes her revenge out on those that did her wrong in the past, she begins to date Ryan, played by Bo Burnham, and starts to come to terms with the idea of putting her vengeful nightlife to rest. Yeah, this was a damn good movie too. A nice down-to-earth revenge feminist flick. Carey Mulligan knocks it out of the park, almost perfectly playing a blackout drunk woman, and the way she snaps into sobriety and passive-aggressive is downright haunting in the best way possible. To see these guys get so flabbergasted, tripping over their words, justifying their actions, trying so hilariously and desperately to make it seem like it's the woman's fault, it's enough to split your sides. When Cassie tells one of her victims that she's not the only one that does this, I really hope that's true. That's gotta be so fucking satisfying to see these fuckers red-handed and force them to realize who they really are without admitting it. Though I wonder why anyone would do this solo. That's not exactly a wise policy. Not exactly a complaint, as even this question mark is addressed in a subtle way. That's not to say that Cassie is all about the vengeance. When she's in her everyday life, she's still got plenty of sarcastic charm. She's adorable when she starts falling for Ryan. Burnham is pretty fun to watch as well. So there's this wonderful balance of edge-of-your-seat, hey, what are you doing action, mixed with some legit relatable humanity.
You're sneaking up the joint with your sad little face.
But I like it here.
No, you don't.
No, I don't, but...
I suppose the only real complaint that I have is that I think the switch between Cassie doing what she does and giving it up was a bit quick and didn't seem like it needed to take that much convincing. Literally, it felt like one conversation from one character and that was it. Still, I had a gas with this movie. If you want to see asshole dudes get what's coming to them, you're in for a treat. My honest rating for Promising Young Woman, a strong 4 out of 5.
I guess you just had to think about it in the right way. I guess it feels different when it's someone you love.
Based on the stage play of the same name, set in 1964, infamous activist Malcolm X, played by Kingsley Ben-Adir, famed boxer Cassius Clay, aka Muhammad Ali, played by Eli Gore, star football player Jim Brown, played by Aldous Hodge, and rising musician Sam Cooke, played by Leslie Odom Jr., are four friends who have gotten together to celebrate Cassius's win of the heavyweight championship. However, tensions rise as Malcolm begins to reflect on their respective accomplishments and how each man handles the racial prejudice that they all face. I think I found the best movie of the year so far, and we're only in January. What separates this from a movie like American Skin, this isn't trying to throw out statistics and numbers or trying to lecture. This feels like we're sitting down with a group of friends who face the same problem, and each and every one of them has a different reaction and answer to it. There is something to think about, but more importantly, there's something to feel for.
We figured you'd have rounded up some girls before we even got here, boy. Where they at?
Shit, ain't you too tired?
Tired, boy. I'm energized. Was before I even threw the first punch.
What truly stuck out for me was the friendship between these four friends. How they're all in the same boat, dealing with the same prejudices, but having almost vastly different viewpoints. Where Malcolm wants Sam's music to be used as a weapon to fight against white people, Sam wants to use it to build bridges. And Jim and Cassius may have shades of both. And I love that dichotomy. How their disagreements can get so heated that they need to take a step back and cool down, but will still find common ground and remain close friends. This definitely struck a chord with me, so it gets my highest endorsement. Bravo Regina King on her directorial debut. My honest rating for One Night in Miami, a 5 out of 5.
Jimmy, I am implying that brothers like Sam and you and Cassius, you all are our greatest weapons.
I'm not anyone's weapons, Malcolm.
Based on the novel of the same name, Balram, played by Adarsh Gorov, grew up a poor man in a poor family, having aspirations to become a servant to a wealthy family, specifically their youngest son, Ashok, played by Rajkumar Rao. Though he achieves his goal and everything goes great at first, he eventually becomes disillusioned with his life and works on a way to climb up to the upper echelons of Indian society his own way. Holy crap, this was a pretty good weekend. This must have been one of the easiest flicks to pitch. Do you want a rags to riches story about murder, betrayal, and an underdog who bites back hard? Well, then you're in for a treat. Usually, I dread watching films about this, as the pattern is usually all the same. Down and out character, achieves wealth and status, becomes an asshole, and or makes mistakes that threaten their newly found success. And the story ends with them either dying as a poor person again, or learn a lesson about appreciating the little things in life. That's not this movie, and thank God for that. This is a story about watching the mannerisms of those who think they're above you, knowing your place in a crappy society that shits on you, find your own niche of success in that shit, and eventually knowing how the gears work so intimately that you rise above it. And Balram's story is incredibly well crafted in that. Gorov's performance is so charming and heartfelt, but as the story progresses, he gets to be more biting and becomes this expert schemer that kept me hooked all the way through. What I truly love is how there's no good guy. Everyone's an asshole doing asshole things, but it's such an intricate and fascinating journey that I truly couldn't have cared less. The only real issue I have is that the runtime feels long, and I have no idea why. Usually that's because of boredom, but I wasn't bored. I wish I could explain it properly. Overall, this was a delight, and I definitely recommend it. My honest rating for The White Tiger, a strong 4 out of 5. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I really appreciate it. Have a great day. Stay safe and healthy out there. Please wear a mask if you go out. Hope to see you soon.